Hello everybody, welcome to Sunday Night Live with Myshire Farm. Let me get situated here. My internet's a little behind, so let me get all that caught up and then we will get started. I'm going to try to go fast tonight with our announcements. Last week was about 20 minutes. I'm going to cut that down hopefully in about half. Let me get situated here. My internet's As you can see, my internet is a little behind, so I apologize for that. So I do have a couple of announcements that we'll get into real quick, but before I do want to let you know how we do things here on our Sunday Night Lives. We try to do this every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it is a live Q&A. So if you have any questions about Coturnix quail, raising quail, breeding quail, brooding quail, hatching quail, I don't know, anything to do with quail, let us know in the comments. We will get to that. We will answer your questions and help you become more successful at raising Coturnix quail. We also do a couple fun things here. Number one, if you want to let us know where you're from, it's always interesting to see where all the quail people are at in the world. So that's a lot of fun. I don't know if Pete will be able to make it. He's from the UK. We were talking back and forth earlier today, but it's like 1 o'clock in the morning in the UK, so I didn't know if he'd be on here, but he did want to let everybody know hi. He did ask some questions in case he fell asleep, so, but it is always cool to see where everybody's at. Next, if you've hatched any eggs out from us this past week and have not given us the update, feel free to do so. We'll write that down for our records. Last week, we had amazing hatch rates, like in the 90s on the average. So I'm very excited about that. We're averaging a 74% hatch rate on chipped eggs for the year. So I'm very excited about that, and we'd love to know feedback from you guys if you've not already told us. And we try to be kind to each other in the comments. So if you can, let's be supportive to one another. That is what this community is all about. And if you can be kind to me and just hit that like button and support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. And talking about channels growing, I did want to mention Slightly Rednecked. It is a YouTube channel, if you do not know what that is, by Chris Carnes. He's been doing Coturnix quail and gardening and self-sufficiency and rabbits and all kinds of things, meat chickens and turkeys, all kinds of stuff for a long time. And he's a great friend of ours. And he'll actually be here at Quail Con, which we'll be talking about in just a second. And he is currently at 99,000 subscribers. He does this just to give back and to teach people that you can do it in a small backyard. And if you are not subscribed to Slightly Redneck, number one, support our community by going there and hitting the like button and supporting the channel by subscribing. And number two, you're going to get amazing content from that. So I'd love to see him get 100,000 subscribers. I think that would be really cool. I would also like to congratulate Jenna, which is my wife. She started a new business last year, which is breeding Great Danes. And there's a lot. There's a lot going on. There's a lot. And she's doing a fantastic job. Last year we had a litter of 14. She sold all those. And everybody's doing very, very well. She's getting feedback and updates on the puppies from last year. This year, we just had a litter of 10. They are now 8 weeks old, so they're now able to go home, which is really cool. And she sold 4 already. There's 6 left. I actually went Friday to Pennsylvania. It was a 12-hour round trip after I worked 8 hours. So I was pretty tired, but I did get that done. Jenna was supposed to go with me. She actually got super sick on Wednesday night, Thursday, and I told her just to rest and stay. She was still feeling bad yesterday. Today she woke up. She's good. She started cutting the grass, started getting stuff done, and I'm happy that she is back with me because we're going to need a lot of work in the next 2 weeks. So, 2 things. Number one, we got a lot of work to do for Quail Con, so I'm going to talk about that in just a second. And number two, I think she's doing a fantastic job. And if you want a Great Dane puppy and a Myshire Great Dane puppy, make sure you reach out to her, Jenna at myshirefarm.com. She's got 6 left, and they are cute. Very cute. Next, if you are part of our auctions on Facebook, we do auctions every weekend. Lately, it's been every Sunday, but without Quail Con, we try to do Fridays and Sundays. We have a lot of fun, a lot of great deals, a lot of great community interactions, things like that. We had a great day today. A lot of auctions went out, a lot of amazing deals. I will not be doing auctions for 3 weeks. So next week is the 27th. That is the week leading into QuailCon. I will just be too busy, and those eggs will be going to QuailCon attendees that they can purchase for farm pickup. And then the second is actually QuailCon. So I'm definitely not doing auctions on that day, or the third. I'm definitely not doing auctions on that day. So I will not be back doing the Myshire auctions on Facebook until the 10th of September. So if you are part of the auction groups, I haven't abandoned y'all. It's just the next couple of weeks. We just don't have the eggs or don't have the time. One of the two. So I wanted to let everybody know about that as well. Next up is QuailCon. I am going to give you just a few updates on QuailCon. It's right around the corner, 13 days away. Super exciting, and we got some really cool stuff to talk about today. So, last week, if you did not get our live, if you missed our live last week on Sunday, I spent the first 20 minutes on announcements. Now, the first 10, 11 minutes were other things like Quail University and other stuff going on in the community. But the last 10 minutes, from minute 10 to minute 20, I don't know how to say that, in our last live, I talked about Saturdays, because it's a Saturday-Sunday event. It's September 2nd and 3rd. We'd love for you to be here. We've got, I think, 27 states coming, and all of North America, Mexico, Mexico, the U.S., and Canada is all coming. So all of North America is coming, which is super cool. And like I said, I think 27 states we're at now. So a lot of states are representing. So that's very exciting. And I went over the tours and the workshops and the master classes that we're doing on Saturday. Today, I want to briefly talk to you about some really cool stuff going on Sunday, and also some other stuff. So again, if you missed last week, make sure you check out the first 20 minutes and you'll get all that information. But on Sunday, we're going to start gates open at 8 a.m. And then we're actually going to start master classes at 9 a.m. There's only going to be one class at a time on Sunday, so it's going to be much slower. We're going to get a lot more information out for you. It's going to be smoother, and I will actually not be very busy, so I'll be able to walk around and enjoy everybody and hang out. I do see S.O. Swanson says we're up to 29 states now, which is super cool. So at 9 o'clock, we're starting the master classes with one of my favorites, which is Jim Ward. He will be here. He's part of the MPIP and Ohio National Poultry Improvement Plan, and he's going to be talking about biosecurity, what MPIP does, how it helps you prevent from getting diseases and things like that. From 10:30 to 11, we're going to have Elaine Ramey here. She is from The Ohio State University. She's a nutritionalist. I think she's graduating with her PhD first semester of next year, somewhere close, like in the next 6 months. So I'm very excited that she's going to be here. That's super exciting. And then, unfortunately, you guys are going to get me, and I will be talking about putting the Y in self-sufficiency. And I'm going to be actually talking twice. Same speech, but we're going to group you guys up in Group A and Group B. Half you guys are going to go to lunch then. I'm going to talk to the Group B, and then we're going to just rotate it. Group B is going to go to lunch, and I will talk to Group A so everybody gets the information. And then following me up is Jasmine Bass from Time and Timber. She's going to be talking about quail enrichment, which is going to be very interesting and cool. And then we're going to have Chris Carnes from Slightly Redneck. That's right. That's the YouTube channel you just subscribed to, right? He's going to talk about quail problem solving. I'm very excited about that. And then we're going to finish it up with George, which is my right hand here at Myshire Farm. He's been with me for about 5 years now, full-time on the farm. And he's going to be talking about a breeding program and what to look for, what to focus on, things like that. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to finish up with raffle winners, announcement, and closing remarks. And then that all should end by about 4 o'clock. So if you need to get back on the road, that's not a bad time to do so. And then at 4 o'clock, we're going to start live bird sales. Now, hatching egg sales, we're going to do Saturday and Sunday, but live birds, we're not going to start until 4 o'clock on Sunday. So I wanted to let you know those amazing speakers. And then we're also going to have a ton of vendors. So we're going to have raffles and t-shirts by George A. And the raffles we'll get to in just a second. We're also going to have Verna Young manning the Quail University table. She's going to be talking about Quail 101. She's also going to be manning that. We've got Dale's Quails in the house. Dale, he's going to be selling cages and brooders and all kinds of really cool stuff. He's doing a workshop as well on Saturday. We're going to have Linda Easton Waller and Kelly Connect doing a hatching at home vendor table, which is really cool. You guys will need to check that out. If you're interested in quail for profit, making some money on your homestead, this is a fantastic way to do it. And then we got PJ doing the Wynola Ranch table, which is going to be awesome. He's going to be sending us cages, troughs, all kinds of really cool stuff with that. Great deal on that. And then we're going to have Rick and Kim from the Bimmer Group is going to be here. Madison, which is my daughter, is going to be doing Madison's Puppy Palace. She's actually in the kitchen right now wrapping stuff with bacon and baking it for treat. I don't even know what she's doing, but it smells really good. I know it's puppy treats, but anytime there's bacon. And then we're going to have Quafting by Ed Got Bait, which is one of my moderators on here. He does a fantastic job. We're going to have Feathered Connections, which is Kelly Connect. She's going to be here with some really cool stuff. The General Quail Shop by Jesse Mills is going to be here. And Vay's Place, which is Verna Young, also my moderator on here, doing some freeze-dried food and things like that. Plus, we'll be selling supplies, you know, cartons, scissors, candlers, eggs, live birds, anything you need for quail is right here for Quail Con, which is really cool. And the last thing I want to go over this week is the raffle prizes. So Myshire Farm donated and purchased a GQF incubator. So all raffle tickets are going to be $1 a piece. You can choose to purchase one or however many you want, and then you'll pick which raffle you want to participate in or mix them up or whatever you want to do. But you can raffle for a GQF incubator. Quail University donated a Brincia incubator, which I just did a review on. Very, very nice incubators. Wynola Ranch is donating 3 cages, Wynola Ranch cages, and Dale's Quails is donating a cage as well. So somebody's going to be walking away with a lot of stuff and some really expensive stuff for $1 raffle tickets, which is really cool. Quail University is donating a Quail University class. So if you haven't participated in that, you can take that class for free. And then they're also going to be donating a Quail University one-on-one. So if you're a part of Quail University, you can actually sign up for one-on-one Zooms with one of the instructors, whether it is myself, or Jasmine Bass, or even Linda Easton Waller. You can sign up for an hour long. It's usually, I think it's $10, $15. I think it's $10. I don't remember. But we're going to be raffling one of those off. We're going to have a jewelry set, which I showed last week, by Ed Got Bait. It's earrings and a necklace, which is really cool. And then we're going to be doing some eggs, some hatching eggs from Myshire Farm, and some breeder sets by Myshire Farm, which is really cool. And then we're going to do a signed t-shirt that I do not have up here, but it's going to be a Quail Con t-shirt. I'm going to have all the speakers and workshops and volunteers sign the back of the t-shirt. We're going to raffle that off. Which is going to be really cool. And then Hatching at Home is going to be donating an entire class for free to someone as well. And we've had a lot of people reach out to me and let me know that they've taken the Hatching at Home course and they're making a lot of good money, thousands of dollars a month. Actually on the Hatching at Home program. So that's really cool. All of that stuff will be raffled. So that is what's going on for Quail Con. And the last thing I want to say before we get started is anybody that came to Quail Con last year, we asked for feedback. We're going to ask for feedback every year so that we can get better. One thing was signage, and one thing was maybe, more organization as far as people knowing where to go. So we've actually, this is not the final copy, but we're actually putting a trifold together, which is really cool. So it's actually going to have the dates and are the times for all the workshops on Saturday, the speakers on Sunday, what times they are. We're going to have a map showing where everything's at. We're going to have signage on where all the workshops and the speakers are. And then if you don't want to carry this around, which I think you should because we've spent a lot of time on this, but if you don't want to, there's actually a QR code that you can scan, and this will show up on your phone, which is really cool. It'll also show you all the raffles, all the vendor tables. It's just really cool. So I'm very excited about that. And we took all of you guys' advice last year, and I think we're going to make it bigger and better than ever. So that's really cool. That is all the announcements I'm going to be doing tonight. So I am faster than I was last week, which is kind of exciting, but I gave you a lot of really cool information. I hope you can make it. Tickets are still available. I think we have like 20 some. We're in the 20s left, but we've still got some tickets available on our website, which is myshirefarm.com. It is here on the farm. It's a 2-day event, September 2nd and 3rd. We'd love for you to be here. We still have some camping spots available as well to try to help you out. And hopefully you can make it. We'd love to see you here. We've got 29 states. We'd love for the rest of them to come. I'm super happy with the 29 coming. I'm super happy with Canada coming. I'm super happy with Mexico coming. I think that's super cool. And we are growing exponentially every year. So I think it's going to be a great time. Now, we're going to get into the actual live Q&A tonight. So if you have any questions about Coturnix quail, ask now. I'm getting to the comments. Let us know where you're from. If you've hatched any eggs from us, let us know what the hatch rate is. I'll write that down for our records. And support each other in the comments. Be kind and support me by just hitting the like button and supporting the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, here we go. Mason Devi is in the house. Says, hi, Zach. My eggs are still in the mail, but I will update you when I get them. They've been in the mail for 1 week today. Hopefully they still have a great hatch. No, between now and Quail Con, we actually are only printing labels on Mondays, and we're shipping throughout the week. Mason, I believe yours went out on like Thursday, so you should get them tomorrow. Fat Country's in the house from Tampa, Florida. Welcome, we're glad you're here. Shelly Barr's in the house from South Carolina. Welcome, we're glad you're here. Wyatt Higgs is in the house. Says, hello, Zach. Ordered 90 BTA and received 120. Never a dull moment when the eggs show up. Absolutely. Feather Connections is in the house. Says, hello from Provo, Utah, but you already know that. Absolutely. Welcome. Davis Family 5 is in the house. Says, hi, Zach. Have my 30 eggs on lockdown I ordered. Should be hatching today or tomorrow. I'll get back with you and let you know the hatch rate. Wonderful. Good luck. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and obviously keep me posted. Davis Family 5 is in the house from Alabama. Welcome. Let's see. Carrie Ricker's in the house from New York. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Fran Crow is in the house. Says, hello, everyone. Listening while canning green beans. Welcome. Good luck and glad you're here. Rick is in the house from Missouri. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Carrie's in the house, got it on the TV while cleaning up and getting kids ready for bed, getting back on school schedule. I hear that. Buster's in the house from Oklahoma. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Joy's in the house from the smoky western Oregon. I have Jumbo Mix going into lockdown tonight after the live. Wonderful. Good luck. And obviously keep me posted. I wish you all the best. Let's see. Nikki James is in the house from Missouri. Nikki and Brad will be here for Quail Con. They are my right hands for the past 2 years. I know they'll be the third year they're here for me. I'm telling you, when they call me and say I can't make it to Quail Con is when we don't have Quail Con. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So it's up to them. Emma Ball's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Andrea Perry's in the house from North Carolina. So I did want to mention, if you're coming to Quail Con or you want to know more about it, there's actually a Quail Con group. It's called Quail Con 2023 Facebook group. You can join there. And then on our groups like Newbie Quail Lover and things like that, Steve Swanson or S.O. Swanson, I forget what he goes by on Facebook. But he posts a map, and then I contact him every time we get a new state. He updates the map and he colors it in. And there's like, Mexico and Texas and New Mexico and, Louisiana and Mississippi, and all this stuff is covered, in Ohio and Indiana, and all 29 states are all are in green, and then there's some white states, and North Carolina, like everything around it, is all green, and then you got North Carolina that's just white, And I think we need to change that. So, Andrea Perry, I think you need to come to Quail Con just so we can color it in. We'd love to have you. It's going to be a great time, and we'll all hang out. Let's see. CWB Hoodie Tuckin 417's in the house from Missouri. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Emma Ball's in the house from the UK. It's midnight for us. Glad to be here. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. And we don't actually have the UK yet. So, I mean, if you're available in 2 weeks, we'd love for you to be here. PJ's Family Farms in the house says, hi all, driving but listening in. Welcome, we're glad you're here. Can't wait to see you again at Quail Con. Carrie's in the house. It would be an 8-hour drive on Friday and an 8-hour drive on Monday, and hubby can't get that off currently in the busy season. I understand that. We'd still love for you to be here. Even if it's just for Saturday and then you leave, make it a half a day each driving on Sunday, but we'd love to have you. The Birdhouse is in the house from Ohio. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Chris is in the house. Welcome. Erica Willis is in the house. Welcome. Bob's Fish Room is in the house from Pennsylvania. I was just in Pennsylvania on Friday. I was in Erie. So and Tara's in the house. Hello, everyone from Gilroy, California. So excited to see you guys at Quail Con. Absolutely. It's going to be a fantastic time. Paul Montgomery's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Let's see. Jesse Mills is in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. S.O. Swanson says, greetings from the Mississippi. Guess where we'll be in 12 more days? You're going to be in Ohio at Myshire Farm. I do know that. I can't wait for it. Fat Country says, yes, great auctions. Yeah, they were really good today. Really good, fun auctions. Great deals, too. Brittany Stover is in the house. Hello from Oregon. We're awaiting our jumbo quail mix eggs and are so excited to start our quail journey. Well, good luck. I wish you all the best. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to ask. We're here every Sunday, except for like Quail Con Sunday, because, I'll be busy. But we are here, and we have a lot of videos on YouTube. Make sure you check out Quail University as well. It's a fantastic source. You can check that out on our website. And good luck. I think you're going to do great. Grafter Branch Homestead's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. A. Jones is in the house. Hi, all. Checking in from the northeast tip of Ohio. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Gutros Family Farms in the house. He's going to be helping out with the butcher experience, the butcher workshop. So I can't wait to see him and his family. S.O. Swanson says, we had a New Jersey and Alaska, so we were up to 29 states. There you go. That's awesome. Peter Hickman's in the house. Says, hi, Zach. Peter from Dudley, UK. I'm still awake. It's very late. I asked about the black quail, and you were not keen on them. Is there any other quail you were not keen on? No, not really. I think that, I gave you the answers why we wouldn't have them here. And what the concerns are. Now, I don't know what the difference is between the States and the UK as far as the genetics go, so you might want to look into that, but that's just why I wouldn't have them here at Myshire Farm. But no, everything else is great. The only thing that you need to be a little tricky on is the SSCs, the silvers. You just don't want to breed silver to silver for very long. Now, we don't here, so if you order SSCs from us, you're good for about 3 years, just like anything else. But you really don't want to put silver to silver for very long. Otherwise, they can start getting real weak and having issues like that. But everything else is completely normal. Nothing like you have to worry about. And the black quail just has some things that I do not want anything near me. So Terry says, for anyone wondering about the hurricane, it's way south of me. Got 0.01 inches of rain late evening yesterday. No danger here. However, people in Southern California are getting slammed. Supposed to be dry season. I'm sorry to hear that. Good luck to everybody that's out there, and I wish you all the best and safety. Granny 4751's in the house from Iowa. Hatch day. Set 29 eggs, 15 have hatched in the first 6 hours, and we're not done yet. So excited. They are so stinking cute. Oh no, I think I'm hooked. Yeah, we don't tell people. We probably should. It is addicting, and we're just happy you're part of it now. So we already got you. You're addicted to it. So you might as well just enjoy it. But congratulations, good luck, and I'm sure you'll get a lot more to hatch. And welcome. We're glad you're here. Aaron Gutros is in the house driving home, so I'm listening for now. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Let's see. How many camping tickets are still available? I think 6, 5. I don't know. There's a few. Bags of Love is in the house from New York or North Carolina. I don't know why North Carolina hates me. There's another Jonathan Holloway, North Carolina. I just want to see you at Quail Con. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Welcome, everybody. We're glad you're here. Paul says, oh, you're not talking to me. Let's see. John F. is in the house. Says, good evening, all. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Joy's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Dwight Wilson's in the house. Hey, Zach. Dwight here from Peppermint Acres in West Virginia. We got our tickets for Quail Con and can't wait to see everybody. That's awesome. I can't wait to see you and meet you. And I think we're going to have a great time. We have got jam-packed stuff. We also have some downtime where we can just hang out. And we're going to learn a lot. We're going to hang out a lot. We're going to make good friends. And we'll collaborate together. So it's going to be awesome. Grafted Branch Homestead says, just had my new Myshire eggs hatch. Wonderful. Congratulations. And wish you all the best. Timber Ridge Quail Farm's in the house from Texas. Says, hello, everyone. Welcome. We're glad you're here. CJ Ward is in the house from Alabama. Ordered quail eggs from you today. So excited. Will there be plenty of parking if I decide to drive to Quail Con? Your quail are beautiful. There will be plenty of parking, but tickets are only available on the website. We have to plan for everybody because we've got a dinner and we've got chairs and tables and certain people going to workshops. And so you would have to purchase your tickets in advance, but there's going to be plenty of parking. I can guarantee you that. Paul Montgomery's in the house. I'm technology challenged, but we'll try to find it. Thanks. If so, you'll just go to myshirefarm.com and there's a little tab called Quail Con. You'll click on that and there's the information. But if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to text me or email me and I'll just send you the link where you just click on it and there it is. Julie Kahn's in the house. All Things Quail Homestead says hello. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. Nikki James is in the house. My growl fees are hatching right now. Wonderful to hear. Good luck. And I wish you all the best. Obviously, keep me posted. Rick Ellison's in the house. Says, hi, Zach. Ordered eggs from you last week. Looking forward to get them this week. Absolutely. Good luck. Obviously, keep me posted on the hatch, and I wish you all the best. Sherry's in the house. Says, hi from Georgia. New to quail and loving it. So glad I found Myshire Farm. Well, thank you very much. I wish you all the best. If you have any questions, that's why we do this. This is, it's a live Q&A. We're happy to answer any questions. It's also a great time to have community. And just see a lot of people supporting one another and just being kind to one another. That really goes a long way. Like, that's almost as important as just doing well by yourself raising quail. You know, when you just feel a part of something, that really goes a long way. So welcome. We're glad you're a part of it. I've got a lot of YouTube videos, so you can check those out. And obviously check out Quail University. And we'd love to have you at Quail Con. So, I mean, might as well just take the long weekend and just come and hang out and learn everything you need. But welcome. We're glad you're here. Kevin Short's in the house from North Carolina. You guys are killing me with this North Carolina thing. You're killing. All I want is North Carolina now. And, like, everybody's from North Carolina, and they're all like, no, I can't do it. Which I understand. Not everybody can make it. I get it. But I really want North Carolina. Really want it. We'll see. Welcome, everybody. We're glad you're here. Mason says, my egg shipped the 14th. No, that's when we printed the label. They would have went out later on that week. Let's see. Laura's Micro Brewery's in the house from Wisconsin. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Chris Mefford is in the house. Just found your channel and learning and thinking about adding some quail. We'd love for you to try it. We love it. I love it. I think they're super easy. A great source of meat and eggs. For a small space, whether you have a big space or a small space, you can always appreciate, the things that take the least amount of space, the least amount of footprint. So we think we're great. They're great. We've got a lot of videos on our YouTube channel that you can check out. And if you have any questions, I mean, again, that's why we're here. Feel free to ask any questions you got about quail. Shelly Barr says, I'm getting ready to build my brooder. How tall do I need it to be? It all depends on you. We don't like to bend over, and we don't like to get on our knees, and we don't like to reach high. So we made it our height. So it's all depends on what you want to do. Excuse me, I gotta take a drink. There's no right or wrong. as far as the height goes. Let's see. Dr. Connie's in the house from Florida. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Hope things are going better for you. John F. says, I bought quail egg scissors. Yes, it's way better. They are. Anybody eating quail eggs needs to have egg scissors, for sure. S.O. Swanson says, knowledge is power. Quail University. Absolutely. Make sure you check that out. You can see it on our website at myshirefarm.com. Vicente is in the house from Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Daniel, disciple of Yeshua, is in the house. What is turnaround time on white tips? The white wings would go out within a week. About 5 to 7 days. That's how far we're out. Hoodie Tuckin is in the house. Howdy. Any idea how many Missourians are going to Quail Con here from Polk County, Missouri? If you missed it, first time watching one of your lives. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here, and thanks for showing up. If you have any questions about quail, feel free to ask. And I don't know off the top of my head, but if I had to guess, I would say, 15? I mean, let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 workshop or speakers just from Missouri. So Missouri's representing quite a bit. That's just the speakers. That's not the ticket holders. That's just the speakers. So yeah, there's quite a bit of people from Missouri showing up. Daniel is local to Northeast Ohio. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. Hopefully you can make it to Quail Con. Wouldn't be too far away for you. Gonna be a great time. Grafter Branch Homestead says, anyone else from New Mexico going? There is you and one other person, or well, I don't remember how many tickets they ordered, but one other ticket purchase from New Mexico coming. So there's 2 groups from New Mexico. Hoodie says, nice, hoping to make it to next year's Quail Con 2024. You might as well just make it this year, you know? Let's just do it. Just do it. Grafter Branch Homestead says, addicting, yes. Zach's my quail dealer. There you go. Johnny Newby's in the house. North Carolina, 15 hatched. Out second hatch my own eggs. Very happy to get 15. We'll start third hatch this Thursday. Well, that's great. Congratulations. Welcome. And yeah, keep it up. You're doing great. Congratulations. That's great. Let's see. No one's talking to me. Johnny, let's see. Johnny from North Carolina says he can't make it this year, maybe next year. Hopefully you can make it next year. We'd love to have you. So Interior says, OMG, best part of Quail Con is meeting and talking with all the wonderful like-minded people. Absolutely. The Birdhouse says, why do you not like black Caturnix? Aren't they just different feather color? There's some genetics in there. Long story short, they were imported illegally about 2 or 3 years ago. They really haven't been tested correctly. And from all the information I've seen, I guess it depends. The actual black quail gene that came over illegally a few years ago actually carries lethal yellow. Now, if somebody else, started breeding Tibetan or Tibetan and Grau-Fee and got them dark, then that would be a whole different process. But that would either be dark Grau-Fee or dark Tibetan. They wouldn't be black. You know what I mean? They might look really dark, but they're not really black. But the actual black gene that came from there, what's the word I want to use? I don't remember the word I want to use, but has the lethal yellow gene in it, which you don't really see, but it's very low hatch rates, it's failure to thrive, and then, if they do survive and you put it in a breeding program, then that gene is just going to start getting to everything, and it really can mess things up. So, if you have black quail and they're really dark Tibetans or they're dark Grau-Fees, then more power to you. But if they're actually the black gene, I don't want anything around here. Dale's Quails says, good evening, Myshire and friends. Counting down the days. Absolutely. Dale's Quails has been here for 3 years. We actually met him at Quail Con 3 years ago, and we've actually collaborated quite a bit since then. He's a great, great friend, and he's been here all 3 years. The first year he was a vendor. Last year he spoke. This year he's doing a workshop and vending all 3 years. He's fantastic, and I've got some things lined up for him when he gets here to tell him, oh, by the way, we need to collaborate on some other things next year. So we'll see how he takes that. But yeah, I can't wait to see him again. We really should get together more often, but life, you know, life. King of Robbers is in the house. Welcome, we're glad you're here. Says, had a quail pass away today. My little terrier got a hold of him. Fortunately, that is just part of it. I mean, it's going to happen to the best of us at some point. Laura's Micro Brewery's in the house. I'm hoping you will share the Quail Con 23 quail recipes. I don't know what you mean, quail recipes. And we're just grilling the quail out and roasting the pig and having some sides for our dinner. And then we're having a food truck here, but I don't know what you mean. I'm sorry. Julie Kahn's in the house. Is it okay to put guinea fowl with quail? No. Quail need to be separated. They're so small that their immune system is a lot less than guineas or chickens or turkeys or ducks or whatever. So they're very susceptible to getting the diseases that the guineas or the chickens or the turkeys might carry, but they're okay with it because they're immune to it. So the quail really do need to be separated into cages or in their own separate area in the aviary or whatever the case may be. That would be a best practice. I just scrolled way too far. Hold on just a second. I'm sorry. Kings of Robbers is lethal yellow dominant gene. I want to say yes, but don't quote me on that. I'd actually have to look. It would be recessive. It would be recessive. That is correct. It would be recessive. Sundial Fragrance is in the house from Texas. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Egg Got Bait says, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Absolutely. Support the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Bob Cole's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Let's see. Laura's Micro Brewery says, question. Hatched out eggs, and one bird is tiny pharaoh color, but uber small, half the size of the others. Any thoughts why? I mean, some of them are just runts. I mean, that's just like in any, litter, I mean, whatever it is. So, I mean, it happens. It would be different if, like, you hatched out 100 and, like, 12 of them were, like, tiny. Like, that's a problem. That's a big problem. But, I mean, yeah, you'll get some tiny ones every once in a while. You just need to get it out of your breeding system, and it'll go away. Maria's in the house from Utah. We do have quite a bit of Utonians. I don't know if that's what you call it, but you should be called that if not. Coming to Quail Con. So, welcome. We're glad you're here. Aaron says, finally made it home. Less than 2 weeks till Quail Con. It is 13 days. There's so much I got to get done. So, I got a lot of stuff to do. Let's see. Leroy's in the house from Alabama. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Shelly Barr says, I meant to ask, is any risk of injury if inside is too high? So typically you want it to be 8 to 12 inches high in your cages, or 6 foot. Nothing in between. So if you make it like 3 foot high, yeah, they're going to jump too high and they're going to break their necks. It happens all the time. So you really want it to be somewhere around 12 inches high is really what you want to do. So you don't want to go too high. Paul's in the house. Last hatch, one of my pearls is a micro quail, but he's doing fine. So cute. That's awesome. That's good. Johnny Newbie says, when incubating eggs, does size of eggs matter? Yeah, to a degree. Yeah, to a degree. I mean, the larger the eggs, the longer it takes. I mean, so for example, like just think of it as in simplest terms. Now, you would have to dive in more because this is just a simple example, right? So quail eggs are 16 days and they start hatching, right? Chicken eggs are, I don't remember, but they're more, right? I don't remember how long they are. I don't like chickens. And then turkeys are longer. And then like emus is like 6 months in the incubator. It's not, but it's a long time in the incubator. It's like 45 days. It's ridiculous. So the larger the egg, the longer it needs to incubate, right? So if you get a 9-gram egg and you get an 18-gram egg, it's not exactly the same. Now, they should start hatching around the same time, but it's very, very important to have the right temperature in there, and it's very important to make sure you increase that humidity. So that's why we really recommend your humidity go to about 75%, so it softens the egg so the chick can break through. And if you have larger eggs, there's no reason to not let them go until about day 21. Because again, if you're thinking about it, okay, well, an average size quail egg is 12 grams, and they should start hatching between day 16 and 18. Well, why wouldn't a double-sized egg take just a few extra days to hatch, right? I mean, that's how, quail hatch early, and then chickens hatch, and then turkeys, and then emus, and, it goes on and on and on. The bigger the egg, ostriches might be bigger than emus, but other than that, that's about the biggest egg out there. But other than that, so just keep that in mind. So if it takes a little bit longer, if you got, let's say you ordered, let's say you ordered 50 Rosettas and 50 Jumbo Wilds, and the Rosettas started hatching on day 16, and they all finished on day 18, and the Jumbo Wilds just started hatching on day 18. It's not a big deal. Don't stress out. Just let them go for an extra couple of days. They are larger eggs. So that's actually a great question. Great question. Julie says, when doing balut, do you only candle a day before pickup? Yep. I think it's a complete waste of time to candle multiple times. There's no reason for it, in my opinion. Now, if you want to and you're excited, I get it. I'm not telling you shouldn't. I'm just saying it's not going to affect anything. You candling's not going to help it, grow faster or start growing or hatch faster. It is what it is. If anything, it's actually going to delay the hatch because you're continuing to open up the incubator and candle. So if you choose to candle, I really recommend you doing it on lockdown when you're opening up the incubator anyway to take out the turner. Now, with balutes, yes, I do it on that day. Now, I do put in 20% more. So if someone ordered 100, I would put in 120. We don't sell just 100. We do larger amounts for our balut orders. But if somebody ordered 100, we put in 120 to ensure that we have a good 100. And usually we have about 5 to 10 extra, and we'll take those and sell those and say, hey, we have 10 extra. Do you want to buy these too? And they'll go, yeah, great. Yeah, we only candle on the day that we deliver. Wyatt Higgs is in the house, 84 watching, only 13 hit the like button. We're up to 60 likes, so I appreciate it, everybody. If you can, support the channel and hit the like button. I'd greatly appreciate it. So Tara says you can mitigate an in-between height by putting aviary netting below the ceiling. They will bounce off instead of hitting their head. This is what I do under my rabbits in the aviary. There you go. Troy says, what plants could you recommend for addition to a cage for free choice greens? I don't. So you can visit So Tara on YouTube. She does a live every Monday. Yep, she does a live every Monday. She raises them outside in an aviary. I am more of a commercial setting. I don't supplement anything. We customize our feed because I have thousands and thousands of quail. So yeah, I don't have time for that. But I don't think it's a bad idea, especially for self-sufficiency. But So Tara YouTube channel is where you'd want to get that information. Sundial Fragrance says 21 days for chicken eggs. There you go. I think I knew that. I was going to say 20, but I think I knew 21. Thank you. Troy's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Maria says, today I put in 100 eggs into lockdown. Awesome. Good luck. I wish you all the best. Feathers, furs, and food home Farmstead is in the house. Says hello from North Texas. Hope everyone's staying cool and hydrated. It's a little miserable out, pretty hot, humid. And tomorrow I'm pressure washing all day, and it's supposed to be pretty hot. So probably won't be in the best of moods tomorrow, but it's got to get done, you know. Got to get done. Jonathan is in the, and I hope you stay safe and cool and hydrated as well. Jonathan says, North Carolina coming to Quail Con, just purchased the golden ticket. There you go. You have no idea how I'm excited I am. Please, no matter what, I need you to come to me at Quail Con at some point in time and just tell me who you are. And I'm probably going to hug you because I've been looking at that little spot for like months. And I'm like, why? Because everybody else is coming. And then I get like 7 tickets from South Carolina and 12 tickets from Florida. And I'm like, but can one of you guys just move to North Carolina just for a few weeks? Like I'm super excited. That excites me. I am now ready for Quail Con. Very cool. I can't wait to meet you. That's awesome. Johnny says, does the larger eggs of double yolk still hatch? Very rarely. They could, but very, very rarely. I would not expect them to. If they do hatch, there's usually issues. Either they're weak or 2 might hatch out. And you know, there just wasn't enough in the yolk for both of them to be healthy. And it usually doesn't turn out well. I wouldn't recommend hatching out double yolkers. King of Robert says, do you dry wash or wet wash your eating eggs for your customers? I do not do either. I think it's a good idea. I don't think that it's a bad idea. And we used to. And finally I just called them and I said, hey, if I take a few cents off per egg, how about I just not wash them? And they're like, because they buy a lot, thousands at a time. So a few cents adds up throughout the year. And so they were more than happy to be like, yep, send them to me, I'll wash them, and then I'll divvy them out. And I said, perfect, because I just didn't have the time for it. But when we did do it, we wet washed. That's a great question. Great question. Bob Cole says, anyone here about above 7,500 elevation wondering about humidity settings during incubation? Yeah, so if you're that high in elevation, you need to do a dry hatch. You add no water. Don't even worry about the humidity at all during incubation, which is day 1 to day 14 or 15. When you put them into lockdown, you add water and keep that at 75%. You're going to have a fantastic hatch. It's a great question. Five-sided barn homesteads in the house. Been out of quail for 2 years until today. Picked up 24. Awesome. Good luck. I wish you all the best. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. But I'm glad you're back into it. Nana's Nerds in the house from Central Illinois. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Julie says, what do you think about blending the infertile incubated eggs with shells and scramble and feed back to them? I don't think that's a bad idea. It's a great source of calcium. A lot of people do it. We used to do it when we were just raising them for ourselves. Again, we customized a feed with Klombach, where they specialize it just for our Caturnix. So I don't add anything anymore. Everything's in there that I need. But I don't think it's a horrible idea. I think it's a great idea. If you've got the time to do it, I would. So and Tara says, regarding greens, they love greens. No iceberg lettuce so much from your garden. Can go to your quail. They love zucchini leaves as well. There you go. So Swanson says, now if we can get some from Alabama, I'm not greedy. I mean, I did want Alabama, but it was North Carolina that was driving me crazy. You know, if you're from Alabama, I'd love for you to be here. I even support Alabama college football. And I'll wear an Alabama shirt if you come. I don't care. But I'm really happy that North Carolina's coming. Laura's Microbroody says, the last double yolk egg I hatched came out with one bird with 3 legs. Yep, that is normal. For double yolkers, not normal hatching out 3 legs. That's weird. But yeah, double yolkers, they'll consume the other yolk, and usually there's a deformity or failure to thrive, or there's 2 chicks and both of them are super weak. There's a lot of issues with the double yolkers, for sure. But thank you for sharing your experience. Paul says, has anyone ever met their future ex-wife at QuailCon. Just kidding. Not yet, I don't think so. But I mean, you know, this year might be the year. You never know. Juan says, wanted to ask what the best way to prevent egg-bound quail. I gave them a 30% feed, and every Monday and Thursday I added a product called Poultry Cell and Kicking Chicken to boost their vitamins. Yeah, I would decrease your protein dramatically by like half. They don't need that protein when they're layers. So if you drop it down to 15 to 18% protein, that calcium is going to go up by about 2 or 3 times, and that's exactly what they need. So you're not giving them the right nutrients for the right time. Now, the 30% protein is great for starters and growers. So from day 1 till about 8 weeks old, that's exactly what they need. But you do need to change that when they're layers after 8 weeks old, so that they're not getting so fat and starting to get the right nutrients to be able to produce the eggs and be fertile and things like that. So I would change your feed. You're wanting to look at around 3.5% calcium, and that a lack of calcium is the exact reason why they're egg bound or prolapse or whatever. Child of God says, would love to come, but do not drive beyond necessity like groceries. Pray all goes well. Have eggs sitting at South Bend Postal. That's awesome. Well, good luck, and we wish you all the best. Bob Cole says, average humidity here is 20-ish. I set Brincia for 30, raised to 75 lockdown, got 50% hatch. Average humidity here is 20-ish. I set Brincia for 35. I would let it go and still dry hatch there. I think you're going to get a much better hatch rate. I don't think it would be a horrible idea just to cover the Brincia up with maybe a blanket or a towel at lockdown, just to make sure that humidity stays. 50% is not awful, but I would try the dry hatch method and see if that does better for you. Diana Tuttle from Tut Farms in the house. 106 here yesterday in Kansas City, Kansas, I do believe. That was hot. That's hot. Sundial Fragrance says, what would be the ideal protein percent for laying quail? 15 to 20%. So there's grade. There's a average, or a 15 to 20% is what I'm trying to say. I can't think of the word. Scale. There's a scale. 15 to 20% is completely fine. I think we do 18%. Shelly Barr says, what are your thoughts on dust baths for quail that are housed in a shed? I think it's a great idea. They love it. They enjoy it a lot. I can't do it here just because I have so many quail. We tried it this year. Everybody said that we shouldn't, and I said, we're doing it. I think it'd be cool, and it turned out to be a horrible, horrible thing for us. Just because we collect so many eggs. The eggs were dirty, and it was awful. So we can't do it here, but I do think it's a fantastic idea, and they do love it. Jenna brings down a bunch of stuff from the garden and throws it in there for them to play around with. But yeah, dust baths are amazing. I think that it's a great idea if you can do it. JT says, how do you enter the monthly 18 and under? You'll just email at Zach, Z-A-C-K, at myshirefarm.com. My email is on our website at myshirefarm.com. And you'll just email age, name, why you want to raise them. And then we pick a winner every month. Jennifer says, I'm a new quail mom. I have 8 hatched from eggs, waiting for eggs for those to show up. I'm coming to QuailCon. I'm so excited. That's awesome. Congratulations. Good luck. I wish you all the best, and I can't wait to meet you. And I think you're going to take home so much good information that going to make your head explode. In a good way. Very cool. I can't wait to meet you. Bob Cole says dry hatch it is then. Yeah, I mean, keep me posted. I'd like to know. But usually the dry hatch method works, especially where you're located. But I would like to keep posted on that and try to help you out. Nishra Ram is in the house from Phoenix, Arizona. Nishra, I'm just saying, we don't have Arizona coming to Quail Con. We just got North Carolina showing up, so, I mean, if you got a couple days to spare, it's a long weekend. Most people are off on Monday because it's a holiday. We'd love for you to be here. I'm just saying, but we're happy you're here. Sundial Fragrance is in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Juan says, thank you so much for the information. I always thought giving my layers the highest protein feed was best for them. Now it makes sense, as I never had the problem when I used to give them the 18% feed. Yeah, well, there's a couple things going on there, and I'm not a feed expert. I've talked to much smarter people than me at Klombach and Brubaker, and when they customized the feed, they came out here. We really spent a lot of time together. They tried their very best to explain everything to me. There's just some things that are just up here on me. You know what I mean? But pretty much, number one, the higher the protein, the more expensive it is. So that's a bummer right there. That's a downer, right? And then once they're full grown, which is technically 10 weeks, but we consider it to be 8 weeks because they're laying plenty of eggs, and so we switch them then they really don't need to keep gaining weight, right? Because whatever they gain after that is kind of unhealthy weight, if you will. What you really want to do is maintain that weight and give them the right nutrients so that they can produce produce everything that they've got going on. So they're producing the eggs, they're laying the eggs, they're making the hard shell. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in that small little body, right? So you need the higher fiber and the higher calcium and the higher, crude fat and this, that, and the other. You need all that stuff. But if your protein is so high, then those other percentages are so low, it doesn't help them. You know what I mean? So if you drop that protein down literally by 50%, then those percentages of the calcium and the fiber and this, that, and the other go up tremendously, and it helps them produce daily. It gets you more eggs per year, makes them happier. They'll lay longer, they'll live longer. So, I mean, all of that, really, I mean, I guess you don't know until it's explained to you, and I might not be explaining it very well, but that's what it is, and hopefully that helps. Jaguar Andy's in the house, says, hello, I wanted to know how you feel about fermenting feed. I'm trying out fermenting grains for them and adding maggots to the diet. I don't think it's a bad idea at all. I think it's a great idea if you've got the time, energy, and effort to do it. I cannot do it here. We go through 6 to 7 pallets a month. So that's 6 to 7 tons of feed a month. There's no way. I mean, we'd have to hire someone just to ferment the feed. So it wouldn't work for us. Now, if you've got a small little covey, you're raising them for self-sufficiency, I think that's a great idea. I think it'll save you money in the long run with feed because they won't eat as much. I think it's healthier for them. I think it's cool. I think you're more involved with it. I think it's great. I just can't do it. It's one of those things where it's like, yes, I recommend it, but no, there's no way I'll ever do it. Just because of my circumstance. Figs and Quail's in the house. Welcome, we're glad you're here. Love the name. Nishra Rama says, Zach, I will try, LOL. I mean, I'm just saying, it'd be great to see you. Diana Tuttle from Tut Farm says, I do dust bath and they love it. Messy, I don't mind. They are happy. There you go. Yeah, and the messy thing bothers me a lot. Again, if I was just raising them for self-sufficiency, I wouldn't probably mind. But I am very particular. I like things to be clean and organized. It is a business. We've, standard for us. Now, with other animals that we raise for self-sufficiency, like pigs or cows or goats or whatever, not like that. I mean, it's a mess, and that's just what it is. It's a farm. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But with the quail, I consider it more to be a business. And, like, for example, Jenna came down to the barn today, and I was like, so Friday before Quail Con is going to be a beast. And she goes, yeah, there's going to be a lot of small things to do. I said, no, it's end of the month. She goes, what? We can't do end of the month. And I said, we have to do end of the month. Like, this is a business first. We've got to keep our standards. So, And she's like, that's gonna be awful. And I was like, yep, it's not gonna be great. We're gonna have to start super early that day. But we do inventory, and we do this, and we do that, and we do final numbers, and we do sales, and we do profit, and we do expenses, and we go through it all, and it's the end of the month. It just is what it is. And so we might have to come up with a different plan with that. Child of God says, have 5 hens together plus 1 rooster. Great. 1 hen has been laying eggs with extremely weak shell. Rest of eggs are great. Started laying about 2 weeks ago. Is there a needed change or just give it time? It's a good question. I would probably give it a little bit more. It sounds as though that they just started laying 2 weeks ago, so they're probably 7-ish weeks old, maybe 8. They're probably just trying to still figure everything out and get everything processing correctly. I would probably give the hen an extra week or 2 if I were you. And then if it doesn't fix, then I probably would call because you can't use it, you know what I mean, or butcher. But I would still give it a little bit more time because from what it sounds like, they're still a little young. Chris is in the house. Says, question, are there any colder weather hardy breeds? Nope, they're all the same. As far as the temperature goes and weather, it doesn't affect any variety of quail, whether it's Jumbo Wild or Pearl or Scarlet or Jumbo White Wing, whatever. They're all, I don't want to use that word. They're all fine with it. So the cold or the heat does not affect them. So if it's 110 degrees, as long as they've got shade and shelter, 110 degrees doesn't affect them. They'll pant a little, but it doesn't affect them. They're still going to lay for you. They're not going to die on you. And we've got people in Alaska where it's negative 40 degrees outside, and they've got a shelter, but it's still super cold out, and they do fine, and they still lay as long as they have the artificial light. It's more of the elements that affect them a lot. So they need shelter because the elements such as rain, snow, wind, sleet, this, that, and the other, that stuff actually affects them more than the cold or the heat. No, they're all weather hardy, if you will. Laura Elliston is in the house. I'm excited for Quail Con. I homeschool my kids too. Looking forward to meeting you, but especially your lovely bride. Absolutely, she homeschools as well, and she'll be here. And I think she talked to, every time I saw her, she didn't have time for me because she was talking to somebody else. So, a lot of people will meet her at Quail Con. Souls and Bottles in the house from Maine. Welcome. We're glad you're here. I don't think we have Maine, so I'm just throwing that out there. We'd love for you to be at Quail Con. There's some tickets left. Come on. Kings of Robbers says, why are Celadons so coveted? It's just a novelty thing. It's never going to be a huge thing. Celadons usually come around for 2 years, about every 5 or 7 years, and then they die off, and then they come back, and it's a novelty thing. It's not a bad idea. I don't particularly like them, but we're working on them because I was outvoted on that, and Jenna and George. So George is technically our employee, but we consider him family. He's lived here on the farm for 5 years. He was a customer before that. We're great friends. He's my best friend, and me and him are down there all the time. And then obviously my wife came up with the business, and we own it 50-50. And so us three make the decisions together. And usually when I put my foot down, we usually end with that. But this time they kept pushing, and we took a vote, and I lost. So we are working on Celadons. It's more of a novelty thing. It's more of just for sales, which doesn't excite me. I'm all about self-sufficiency and getting more people involved, and I understand their point. I get it. I'm not saying they're wrong, but Celadons are fine. We're working on them. It's just they're never going to be super big. They're never going to be, great, super great for meat. They're never going to be super large eggs. But they can be fun. I get it. But that's why people like them. Just because it's a different colored egg. Laura says, I'm bringing a friend and her daughter too. That's awesome. Can't wait to see everybody. Juan says, you explained it very well again. I truly appreciate the information. Not a problem. Happy to help. Diana Tuttle from Tut Farm says, I have a year-old hen laying a green egg that is weak and cracking in the shell. Is that low calcium? Yeah, but most likely because it's a year old, it's probably a deficiency. Now, you could add calcium to try to offset that. She's probably getting to the end of her laying ability. She's probably getting to the end of her production. I would probably give her maybe 3-5 months at the most. But yeah, you'll actually see that in your older hens. You'll start seeing a lot more softer shells. You'll obviously see more inconsistency with laying. But now that she's over a year old, you will see that. Brian Ayers says, hi Zach, my Purina game layer feed says not to feed it to my roos. Do you know why? Don't listen. It's not accurate at all. Not accurate at all. There is a reason for it, but I'm not going to get into it because it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We went into that a long time ago, and feed it. It's going to be fine. The males do fine. It's not a big deal at all. It won't affect your males at all. Won't affect the size. Won't affect their breeding ability. Not a big deal at all. It can be very confusing, and it says that on most of the feed bags. And I personally think they should take that out. But I do understand that quail are a little bit different than other animals. I get that. There's not an actual Coturnix quail layer feed for the public. So I get that as well. But no, males and females can have the same feed. It's not a big deal at all. We've been feeding them the same feed from day one. Never been an issue. We actually experimented with that and took them out every day and fed them. And it was ridiculous. It lasted about 2 weeks. And I was like, we're done. We're done. They're all going to the same cage and they're eating the same stuff. And our males are completely fine. It's a good question. Not a bad question at all. I just don't know why they keep putting that on there. I think it's ridiculous. For them, not you. Johnny says, is bird seed a good nutritional treat for them? Not a lot of it. Not a lot of it. If you want to add a little bit, it's not the end of the world, but I wouldn't add a lot. So when Tara says adding a lid to sandboxes take care of messy, sometimes, yep, absolutely. Not talking. Myshire Farm says the 24th is the lockdown for the 60 eggs of wilds and whites. Let's hope for 100% hatch rate. That will be a record. Absolutely. Good luck. I wish you all the best, and obviously keep me posted. But I'm sure you're going to do great. Jennifer Falla is in the house. I have about a zillion questions. We have eggs and birds for sale, books and stuff. There's no books. One day I'd like to write a book, but the time thing, if I could just, the time. I think it's a great idea. I'd love to write a book one day, but that's probably retirement, I would say. Or I hire other people and I don't want to do that. I really like the fact that it is a family owned and operated business. So it doesn't matter how big we get, it just means how hard we've worked to get there. But it is myself, it is my wife, and it is George that we've had for 5 years, which lives here on the farm. I don't want anything more, And if we can't do the business, then we just won't grow. Like, I'm fine with that. But I really appreciate and love the fact that it is a family farm, family owned and operated quail farm. So it's a great question. And so the book thing, no. There will be a lot of other stuff. I talked the first 14 minutes about Quail Con. I talked about the vendors coming. You might want to check that out. Talked about the raffles and what's going to be available for that. I will have breeders. I'm going to have 3-week-olds. I'm going to have chicks. I'm going to have feather sexable. I'm going to have rares. I'm going to have straight runs. I'm going to have hatching eggs of all sorts. Probably around 10 to 12,000 eggs available for pickup at Quail Con. We're going to have cartons and scissors and candlers. And then, we're going to have cages and brooders in Quail University and t-shirts and more cages and troughs. I love troughs. Bimmer Group will be here. My daughter, Madison, is going to be doing Madison's Puppy Palace. She's been working on it pretty hard. I'm pretty impressed with So that stuff will be there. Crafting by Ed Got Bait, Feather Connections, the General Quail Shop, and Vase Place, which will be doing freeze-dried food. So yeah, we're going to have a lot of really cool stuff here at Quail Con, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. Jennifer says, so I guess I will take copious notes. Absolutely. Please do so. From Worcester, Ohio. Welcome. I can't wait to see you. And I think you're going to get a lot of information. Nisha Rama says, I have Celadons. They're real pain. Not my favorite. There you go. I'm not dissing them. They're just not for me. It's not the end of the world. And if they're for you, then I accept that. I think there's many different ways to raise quail. And I don't think that it's beneficial. I don't think it's beneficial for the community to, if you want to raise quail, okay, let me put it this way. I don't raise quail in an aviary. I raise them inside. I don't want to worry about predators. I don't want to worry about finding the eggs. It's just not for me. I don't think it's a bad idea to raise them outside, and I appreciate the people that do raise them outside. I don't think it's a bad idea. It's just not for me. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to put every person that raised them in an aviary down, because it's not the wrong way to do it, right? Whereas I expect them not to put me down because they're in cages. That's what they've been bred to do, is meat and egg production, right? So cages is kind of thing, just like rabbits. Put them in cages. That's just how you do it. So with that being said, there's many different ways to raise quail. If you like the Celadons and it just makes you happier, go for it. I don't think there's any problem with that. It's just not something for me. Pettimall Farms in the house says like number 76. Oh, that's cool. We're at 77. Very cool. Thanks everybody for the support. I really appreciate it. Andy Rabbits in the house says welcome. Glad you're here. Absolutely. Chris says thank you for all the answers. I had quail before, then moved to Alaska and wasn't sure if they would be the right bird choice. There you go. We'd love to have you to Quail Con. We already have Alaska coming, so you might as well just carpool. Not really carpool, but we'd love to have you at Quail Con. But yeah, I've got, I don't know, 70 to 100 this year, different customers that we ship to Alaska, so they do great there. It's a great question. Great question. Lola's Farm says storms and an earthquake today in SoCal, and my birds are upset. I had to separate a few and a couple of injuries. I'm out of free space to separate any more problems. Do others experience this? Yes, that would be a normal thing, especially for the things that you're going through there. They're not going to really injure each other. They're more really stressed out. If it was me, what I would actually do for the next 5 or 7 days is I'd actually cover up their cage with a towel or a blanket or a tarp. They're going to kind of go docile on you, and that's going to help them heal, help them relax, chill out, and then they can start. Now they will stop laying eggs, but they're probably going to stop laying eggs for you because they're so stressed out anyway. So that's what I would do. And then there's no issues of, oh, you're injured, I'm going to go pick on you more. That's what I would do. Especially since I'm sure you've got a lot of extra stuff going on. King of Robbers says, all my special colored birds are Celadons. I just wanted some variety in my flock. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea at all. I don't. It's just something that's not for me, but I don't think that's bad at all. No earthquakes in Ohio, but I do have a very large black lab who seems like an earthquake, so sorry for your birds. Very disconcerting, absolutely. JT says, what's an easy way to identify older? JT, I don't know what you mean. What's an easy way to identify older? I don't know what you mean. You'll have to, if you can clarify, I'd appreciate that. JT from Texas, welcome. We're glad you're here. Jennifer says, I love watching them. Helen, I feel the sound box they all get in the box and just sit there. There you go. Any Rabbit says, how's everyone tonight? Everybody's been doing great. So, we wish all the best for Southern California. I know they're going through a lot. But yeah, it's been a great night so far. Jennifer Fowler says, Ghost Rider. One day, no one's really reached out. I haven't, it'd be cool. I would be open. But again, when would I have the time just to even start organizing it? You know what I mean? But we'll see. Lawless Farms in the house. Welcome. Glad you're here. Sundial Fragrance says Quail University is better than a book. Totally recommend. Absolutely. Yeah, if you're interested in having all the information in one spot, I would highly recommend checking out our website at myshirefarm.com. There's a tab that says Quail University. Click on that. It's $49. It's over 8 hours of videos from start to finish on how to raise quail, all the best practices. There's handouts, there's Excel sheets, there's quail math handouts and spreadsheets and Excel sheets. And you can sign up for one-on-ones if you have specific questions about your area, location, your circumstances with either myself or the other instructor, which is Jasmine Bass. So yeah, you can definitely check that out as well. Let's see, JT says, does anyone grow the California quail, the one with the hanging feather overhead? I do not. They're not very popular. They're pretty expensive. Lawless Farm says, we are fine. It's pretty mild now, just rain. Hopefully it doesn't pick up again. I just don't want my quail to draw any more blood. LOL. I get that completely. Yeah, after the weather, I would cover them up for a week or 5 days. And that's going to help them just recoup, relax, reset. And I think it's going to help you go a long way for them. Jennifer says, in Ohio, you need a permit to raise bobwhite, but not any other type of quail. Yep, absolutely. JT says, in Utah, you need a permit for all. Yep. Every state is different. Farm Life says, no, I'm an hour late. That's okay. We're just happy you're here. Marie says, I made quail nuggets for my kids. They loved it. Also, snaking on eggs. Finally, my family's approaching the quail and mama's effort. There you go. That's awesome. Snacking on eggs, sorry. That's awesome. Congratulations. And I'm sure they loved it. Kings of Robbers says, I have a feisty female. Should I breed her? Her name is Vengeance, a.k.a. Janice. Her personality is kind of funny, but I do think I want that personality type in my flock. I don't think. I wouldn't breed it then. No. Sorry. I know that's a bummer, but yeah, if you don't want it in the flock, then I wouldn't do it. Now, I would make sure that it's not an environmental issue. Make sure it's 5 hens to 1 male, 3 quail per square foot, always feeding water, and 16 to 18 hours of light a day. If all of those are accurate, then I would not breed her. If one of those is off, I would change that environmental issue first and see if her attitude changes, pretty much. Petmall Farm says, I use a pet carrier for emergency separation when necessary. That's a good idea. Let's see. The Amos is here. Amos Family Farm is in the live. What I missed? Quite a bit. There's been a lot of great questions at the beginning. The first 14 minutes was a lot of announcements in the quail community, Quail Con, and all kinds of really cool stuff. So make sure you check that out. But we're happy you're here. Lola's Farm says, okay, great. I will definitely cover them. Thank you. Not a problem. I think that'll help you a lot. And good luck. We wish you the best. Johnny Newby says, thanks, Zach, for answering my questions. You're a great help. Really enjoyed the community of like-minded people. Absolutely. It really is awesome. I'm very proud of it. Souls and Bottles says, I would love to come, but we are in the middle of a move and school starts that same week. I understand, maybe next year, but good luck with the move, and thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Farm Life says, what should I do with a mean roo? I'd kill it. Yep. Freezer camp, I'd butcher it, call it, give it to the dogs, but you don't want to breed the mean roos. And he shouldn't be a breeder. If he really is aggressive, you don't want him to be a breeder. Soantir says, JT wants to identify older birds from younger birds in a group that has both. Oh, I see. Once you've done it for a while, you can kind of tell by the feathers. You can also tell by the beak. You can tell by the feet. Like you'll just see the age, the wear and tear of the quail. It's just practice. It's just practice is really what it is. Tony's in the house from Toronto. Welcome. We're glad you're here. We don't have Toronto. We've got Canada coming, but not Toronto. We've got Ottawa coming. So, Tony, 2 weeks. We'd love to have you at Quail Con. Farm Life said that he's one of my breeder and he's only attacking me. Oh, if he's only attacking you, then he's fine. I wouldn't worry about that. He's just trying to protect his ladies. He's just trying to protect his area. So I wouldn't worry about that at all. If he's not being mean to the quail, breed the crap out of him. It wouldn't matter at all. So when you said aggressive or whatever, I was thinking he was beating up on the hens and the other males and things like that. But yeah, if he's just attacking you, then you guys just need to sit down and talk. It's really what needs to happen. Kings of Robert says, love Janice, but I only have 16 birds in there for my FFA project. I understand that. Good luck to you. I wish you the best. Nisharama says, I wish if I knew someone to take care of my birds so I can make it September 2nd. We'd love for you to come. I think it'd be really cool. I'd love to meet you and hang out, and hopefully you can make it. If not, maybe next year. But I'm glad you're here. So thank you everybody for the questions. Amazing questions tonight. You guys did a great job. A lot of really good questions, a lot of really good feedback, a lot of really good comments. Great community setting tonight, so I really appreciate that. If you don't know what Quail Con is, check out the first 14 minutes of this video. I'm going to do my best to actually do a YouTube video tomorrow about Quail Con, just so everybody knows. We've only got 20-some tickets left, so make sure you check that out on our website, which is myshirefarm.com. I did post it all over Facebook today. Ed Got Bait did a QR code that I posted everywhere where it'll take you right to the Quail Con site. But I was unable to do it on our YouTube. It wouldn't let me do it. It said I didn't have access. I don't even know what that means because it is my channel, but whatever. So I couldn't put it on here. I tried to put it in the comments and that didn't work either, so I just gave up. But it is all over Facebook. Make sure you check that out. And it's going to be a fantastic time. We're going to have a really good time. Saturday, gates open at 11. We're here until you guys want to leave. It's technically over at 6, but we're going to be here until you guys want to go. And then Sunday, we open at 8, and then again, we close at 4, but in the barn from 4 to 6. So we're going to spend a lot of time together. We're going to hang out. Great community setting, great like-minded people, great ideas from one another. And that's what I heard last year is one of the biggest things is, hey, it rained on Saturday, but that just gave us more time to just be closer together and hang out and talk to people that maybe we would have missed before. So we'll work it out no matter what the weather is. No matter what goes on, it's going to be a great time, and I can't wait to see everybody here, and I'm really excited about it. So thank you everybody for showing up. Hopefully you're all coming to Quail Con. I think it was Jonathan from North Carolina. Hold on, let me see. Johnny from North Carolina. So happy you're coming. That's super cool. And I will try to do a video this week. It's all about getting ready for Quail Con now and getting orders out and doing business. So we'll see how that goes. But until next time, everybody, stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. I appreciate it.